Okay, so first thing we need to do is make corrections to the worksheets. On number 7, it needs to, instead of go under the sugar, it needs to go under the phosphate this time. And then after you already have 2 sets of base pairing, then you go back to step 4. And then you start all over with putting, you'll have 2 wires on each side, and then go over to the 3rd wire. So I'm going to show you at the beginning what to do. Alright, so first you're going to make, you're showing here, you're going to get your 2 wires, and then you're going to make a U shape. You're going to put 4 sugars at the bottom, and then you're going to make a knot on each side. And the way to make a knot is you just get your finger, make a loop, and then you're going to put the wires through. So if you're making your knots, make sure you make them at the little points at the bottom. Okay? So next I'm going to go ahead and thread through a phosphate, which is green, both wires, and another sugar, both wires on each side. Okay, so I got my phosphate sugar, and over here I've got my phosphate sugar. Okay, then I'm going to take 1 wire, only one, and I'm going to go ahead and thread through my adenine, which I chose as pink. This is just 1 wire. I picked the longest one. So it's going to take 2 pinks to make 1 adenine. And then I'm going to put 2 lime greens to base pair to my thymines. Then I'm going to take this 1 wire, and I'm going to go underneath the sugar, and then I'm going to pull this wire all the way through. So now I have 3 wires to 1 wire, and I'm just going to straighten this out, and it tells you this in the directions right here. After you put the phosphate and the sugar, you have 2 wires on each side. You're going to pick 1 wire and then base pair like I just did here, and then put the wire all the way through. So now I have 3 to 1. So now I'm going to go ahead and with these 3 wires, put a phosphate, which I picked as green, dark green, another sugar, through all 3 wires. And then on this side, with my single wire on the right side, I'm going to do the same thing. But on this side, I'm going to go, stop shaking, phosphate, sugar, and then back to phosphate. Okay? So now here, I'm going to take 1 wire. I'm going to pick the longest one. Now I'm going to base pair my guanine cytosine. So I'll say my yellow is guanine. Remember, this is just 1 wire. And then I'm going to put my cytosine because I know G goes with C, and that's the only base pair I could have. So now, instead of putting this one underneath the sugar, this time for my second base pairs, I'm going to put it underneath this extra phosphate I put in. So remember, it's phosphate, sugar, phosphate, sugar, phosphate. So here I'm just going to thread it through underneath. And so now, if I straighten this out a little bit, because this is the heavy duty wire, straighten it out a little bit. Now I just put 4 sugars right here just as a base to hold it, but I've got adenine, thymine, I've got guanine, cytosine, and then here I'm back to 2 wires and 2 wires. So to make this even, I need to go ahead and put another phosphate through both wires. Now I'm even. Now I'm going to start over back at this beginning part. I'm going to start back like I did over here. So I'm going to go ahead and put a sugar on both sides. And I'm going to put a sugar on this side. And then now I could put, now I'm just going to leave it like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and base pair. Now I'm going to do another guanine cytosine. So I'm going to take this one long wire and put two blue ones. And I need to go get two yellow ones. So let's look at these directions while I get two yellow ones. Just stay on there. Alright, I'm back. So remember, I had my two over here. I just need another two yellow. I'm getting on the biggest, longest one wire. And now I'm going to string it through underneath the sugar. So it goes across, just like that. So I'm back to this step again where I have three on one side, or actually right here, three on one side and one on one side. So I'm going to go and put my phosphates. Put phosphates, put a sugar, put another phosphate. And I'm going to do the same over here. I'm going to put a phosphate sugar. So the thing is, for this one, I have to put it through all three of them. Otherwise, it won't hold. Phosphate, sugar, and now let me go ahead and choose adenine thymine. So I'm going to pick the longest one on this side, once again. And once you get the hang of it, it gets pretty easy. It's just getting started. So adenine. And then thymine was, I think, lime green for me. And these are all colors that you guys chose when you picked out your beads, when you picked them out here. So now I'm going to go underneath my phosphates, just like I had changed the directions there. And here I am making my DNA keychain. So you could just kind of straighten it up in the middle. You could see I already have 1, 2, 3, 4 different base pairs. So I could go all the way up. Keep going. So basically I'm going to have this a couple more times. Now, if you run out of wire, that's fine. What you could do is after 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 6 pairings, you could stop. And then when you stop, you're going to follow these directions. And the directions are kind of like they are right here. So at the very end, you'll make 2 knots, knot, knot, put your 4 bases, and then just kind of tie it all together. And then we can make a little keychain out of it, or make a little circle out of it. Okay? So the idea is don't get impatient. If you need some help, you can come get some help in the morning, or you can come get some help after school tomorrow. It's just a daily grade. It's teaching you the concepts about, you know, the backbone being phosphate sugar and the middle part being bases. Okay? So any questions? It's going to be hard to answer on Edmodo. Like I said, come get help in the morning or come get help after school tomorrow. Thank you.